Welcome back, everyone, to the GOATcast podcast. I am CW, and today we return to a series I've done a few times here on this channel. That's NBA Hot Takes, where I give my raw opinions on different topics associated with the NBA, of course. So today, as the famous / GOAT rapper said, the takeover, the break's over. And it seems like the break for the American players in the NBA might be over. It seems like the foreign talent is taking over. And as we've seen, an American-born player has not won the NBA MVP since 2018. So the last 5 MVPs have all been foreign born players, I should say. And should this be shocking? Should this be an anomaly since, of course, basketball is an American created sport? So it's only natural that Americans, for the most part, have been the best players at that sport. But like anything, when something goes global and international, it's only a matter of time before the world catches up. The world's easily caught up here in the NBA, as we've seen such guys as lukadoncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jamal Murray, and the list will go on. And it just seems these guys have flourished and really put a stamp in the NBA with their play. And it just seems like a few of them are just a tier ahead of a lot of the American, especially the younger star talent right now. And is that because of some difference between how American-born or American players are trained? I mean, I have my opinions. My son is heavily involved in AAU basketball, and I see a lot of things that I don't really like. As far as the training, they spend a lot of time on certain aspects of the game that I think if they reverted back to really, really focusing on fundamental basketball, it would really, really help players, because the fundamentals, to me, are the most important skill sets you can get when you're playing a game like basketball. There's been players such as Tim Duncan that have shown you don't have to be flashy. You don't have to have these superior ball handling skills. You don't have to be able to jump out of the gym to be effective on the court, even as a big man or wherever. Also, I just feel that those guys just have an overall game that translates well to the current era of basketball, whereas so many players and so many kids are so focused on being the next Steph Curry, the next, not even LeBron James, but they're so focused on being able to shoot the three that a lot of their fundamental basketball skills kind of take a back seat, such as passing and court vision, court IQ, basketball IQ. And these guys just seem like they're primed and ready to do those things, such as Luka, Giannis, Jokic. These guys can see the court. They have solid court vision, and they're able to get the ball to guys in a way that shows that they have those fundamental skills. Now I know, a knock on Luka, he doesn't pass, but I mean the guy has put up so many triple doubles at a young age. It's crazy. So you got to be able to pass if you're going to put up triple doubles. That's just the game. Has the takeover been successful? And I'll say yes. I mean, if we're looking at the top 5, 10 players, probably 50, 60, maybe 75% of that list are foreign-born players. This was posted a while back, but it was the world versus the NBA right now. And if I'm a betting man, I don't know if I could pick the US to beat them. Luckily, these guys aren't from the same country, so we wouldn't have to put up with them in the Olympics anytime soon, or FIBA. But if this was a 7-game series or even a one-off tournament game, I fear the US would probably have a very, very tough time beating these guys. And it's just that they have the skill set and they seem to have the fundamental values that really make a solid basketball player. Not to mention, these guys are solid, thick guys. They're guys you're not going to move around. So when you got guys that are strong, able to bully themselves to the basket, able to bully themselves to positions that they want to be at, it's going to be hard for a lot of these young guys that are, I hate to say it, they are very slender. I can say that because I watch my son. I see the kids coming up now. I mean, they might pack on a little bit of muscle, but a lot of these kids are slender kids. And we saw that with Giannis. I mean, I'm not saying that some of the foreign-born players weren't. Giannis had to pack on, I think they said, about 40 pounds worth of muscle. And it made a huge difference from when you saw him when he first came into the league till now. It's almost like night and day. He was skilled. He was very skilled. He just didn't have the body to take on some of these big guys and these heavyweights down low that were just going to push him around with his skinny frame. So packing on that muscle gave him the body to be able to handle those guys. And in a lot of ways now, manhandle them. But so, maybe it's just that in these foreign countries, these guys are training their what they eat, what they put in their bodies is a lot different than what we do here in the U.S. I don't know, but it just seems like right now the U.S. is going to need some guys to step up because, of course, the old guard of LeBron James, Kevin Durant, even guys like Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Steph Curry, these guys are fizzling out. Jimmy Butler's had a resurgence as of late, but he's still an older guy in basketball years. So he's eventually going to start trending downward, as many of them have started to, they're not necessarily not themselves and are not still superstars and all-stars. They're further away from their primes. And because of that, their games aren't as potent as they once were. But I do believe we are potentially in good hands. I mean, if you think about it, some of our young guys who just aren't quite there yet are probably going to have the potential to combat these foreign players as far as the top of the heap here in the NBA. You got guys like Jason Tatum, Devin Booker, Ja Morant, if he can get himself together. Donovan Mitchell's still young. Anthony Edwards is very young. De'Aaron Fox, Jaylen Brown. And then you have some underrated guys like Tyrese Halliburton, Tyrese Maxey. And of course, you have, if he can also get himself together, Zion Williamson, who was primed and ready to be the next big thing. And speaking of that, we also have potentially the next big thing, and that person being from France, Victor Wembanyama. So will he take the crown of what was once Michael Jordan, what was once LeBron James, and become that figurehead, that face of the NBA? Will a foreign-born player actually be the main focal point of the association? It could happen. So before the U.S. waves the white flag and say, you know what, we surrender, they've taken us over, let's just wait a little while. As I said, we've got some talent that's still there who's creeping into their prime, such as Jason Tatum, Ja Morant, Donovan Mitchell, these guys. So let's wait and see before we go ahead and declare these foreign-born players the GOATs. Will we see an MVP from our own soil in the next 2, 3, even 4 years? I can't see it. Luka is primed to get one. All he needs is a healthy season, which he seems to be in shape coming in. So I can very much see him putting up massive numbers and stats this season. Giannis and Nikola Jokic, I don't think, are going to leave the MVP talks for the next probably 3 years. And Jokic is coming off of not only an MVP level regular season, he was the finals MVP, and they're the current world champions. So you're going to have to take that guy down if you want to be called one of the best in the league right now. And then you have Shea, who's been doing wonderful things in OKC. He's bound to have another great season this year. Scoring machine. And of course, with Victor Wembanyama coming in, I'm at a wait and see kind of stage with him. But if he's anything like he's been hyped to be, I think he's our future. But what do you guys think? Do you think that the foreign invasion has arrived and that the U.S. better get it together? Or are we still in good hands with guys like Tatum, Brown, Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, and these guys? Let me know in the comments section. And of course, as always, if you want to ascend to GOAT status, like number 23, please like and subscribe to the channel. Only helps, and we are on the road to 500 subs and can't do it without you guys. I do appreciate you checking out this content. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.